Good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're right. It's time for the predictions video. Yes, earlier today for the June 19, 2025 Rustor, we saw an interesting batch of skins being accepted. Out of all of these skins, which one potentially is the best investment for this week? Which of these skins might help us walk away with some sweet, delicious looking profit? So sit back, relax, and I'll start yapping. Right, so before we start talking about the best potential predictions, I've got to point this out. Interesting Rustor, certain items that don't normally get that many skins, well, Jackhammer, Revolver, Pump Shotgun, they got skins accepted today, so that's cool. Is that something we're going to start seeing more of? Like, for example, I don't think we've had an armored door in 2025. I'm sure there's other items that haven't had skins yet this year. Feel free to comment below if you know of one you'd like to see. But that's cool. Another interesting thing, Cyberpack Backpack and the Nuke fridge, they were actually submitted months ago. 5 months, 1 week, and this was submitted back in November 2024, and yet they're accepted today. Not sure what's going on there, but we might see that more over the course of the next few weeks during the summer. Because I do remember, I think that happened last year for a good few months, then they stopped. So what random skin from 6 months to a year ago would you like to see potentially been accepted? Which, of course, wasn't accepted in the past. Feel free to comment below. Right, so looking at all these skins, which of them potentially is the best investment for this week? I've got to talk about the Revolver. So let me just go through all the details, and by the end of my little speech, you'll probably be like super confident behind it. So, number one, Revolvers. They tend to be very, very reliable. If I could just quickly show you all the Revolver skins we have in the game, you'll see positive, 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 positive. That one's only slightly down in price. Positive, 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 green, 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 green. I believe Revolver skins might happen to be pretty reliable. I said that when we first saw the Black Ops Revolver. I bought like 100, 200 of them. Yeah, that worked out quite alright. Not insane profits, but it still worked out very nicely. Heatseeker Summer continues. This is another Heatseeker skin. The collection just so happens to be very in demand at the moment. But of course, the most interesting thing about this skin, it has transparent aim sight. This is the only Revolver with a transparent aim sight. Nothing compares to this. Now, the amount of transparency doesn't really make that much of a difference. You be quiet. Anyway, still technically it is pay to win. Basically, it is $3, but I can't help but assume that's probably the best thing to consider. Now, unless they make some changes, unless they start accepting a lot more Revolver skins this year, it should be a-okay. It should be totally fine. That is looking to be a very, very interesting skin. That is looking to be a very, very interesting potential investment. And the other interesting thing is, it's not the top-selling skin. Rustor did rotate fairly late, but somewhat normal time. It's not selling that much. I don't think it's going to sell less than the Python. I do expect it to sell less than the Thompson, though. I think this is going to end up between 20 to 30,000 subscribers. Very rough estimate at the moment. But that's fine. It will be the most highest-selling Revolver skin we've ever seen, but with all the nice positives behind it, I think it'd be alright. Like, let me get this point across. Earlier this year, we had the Black Ops Revolver. Already made that point, haven't I? But, you know, that was accepted back in March, and then when we went through March and April, prices in general, they got really bad. But that retained its value perfectly. That never really went down in price. Revolvers are very, very reliable. I'm sure you've got that point in your head now. But if you're looking at it as an investment, of course, you might want to wait until Wednesday. That is abnormal. It's better off we probably do the abnormal borders first, look and see how much support it has behind it, but I think that's probably going to be the most reliable skin out of all the Heatseeker skins. Whilst it is expected, as we go through September, October, November, the autumn-fall seasonal dip, all of these are likely going to go down in price, and because they all sold quite a lot, you're going to see quite a lot of listings on the Steam market and third party. I think the Revolver will be the one that will retain value, whilst all of these will be in the red. Now again, might not be down super bad, but that one is expected to be the best performing one. As of now, that's what I'm expecting, but let's see how much it sells. If it sells reasonably, all the better for it to rise up in price in the future. How high will it go? So I just want to get this across to you as well. Last year we had some very cool looking Revolver skins. As you can see, Redemption Revolver, Chameleon Revolver, $2.49, $1.99. Now it sells for $3.50. That also sells for $3.50. Not massive, huge, massive profits, but still profitable, still reliable. So that's probably a good indicator to reference. Also, they both might go up in price quite nicely as we go through the summer this year. We'll see. I feel like I've made my point. So feel free to comment below if you feel confident in the Heatseeker Revolver. And in regards to abnormals, if you don't fully understand what I'm talking about, please consider going over to my YouTube real quickly. Look at my most recent Ruskin Abnormal Barders video. You'll see this for yourself. In short, basically, I'll sit here and say, watch the first 5 minutes of this video, then scroll over to the description, look at the chapters, skip ahead to the Barders chapter, and you'll basically understand that abnormal skins, they become marketable before the Rust even rotates. And knowing that, we can race to put Barders down, and once we've done them, we'll look at the Barders afterwards, we'll see how high the price goes, how many Barders each skin has, and then we can assess whether these skins are likely going to retain their value or not. We can figure out how likely they're going to be nice investments. For example, if we did the Barders on this Revolver here, and they went all the way up to like $2.80, and there's over 1,000 buy orders, that's looking very reliable. That's looking like something that I'd actually want to buy straight from the Rust store, and that's the main point. So give that a good watch. You'll basically understand everything after the first 5 minutes, and skip ahead to the Barders. So out of all these other skins then, what's also looking to be pretty reliable? Black Ops Jackhammer. I've said this to my chat already when I was on my stream, but we just do not see that many Jackhammer skins being accepted. Now, to really illustrate the point, let's go look at all the recent Jackhammer skin submissions. We want to find out how many Jackhammers that were actually fairly decent, how many were submitted this year. So if I was to go ahead and take a look, mention that one, scroll, that one, we'll go over to here, any more, because you might notice some of them don't look that very good. Sorry to say, but I have to be a bit strict there. You got that one there as well, you got this one, and then that was like a Twitch drop from last year, so okay. So looking at that, that was submitted back in March, and that's a very nice looking design, coincidentally made by the people who made Black Ops Collection. Okay, cool. Over to here, this was also made in March. That's a still variation design produced by Icon DDG. Okay, cool. And then this one was made back in March. But then this one was made in December. And then this one was made in September. So what's the point you're trying to get across, Hedge? We don't see that many Jackhammers being produced that are of the quality standard to be accepted into the game. In short, I don't expect any competition anytime soon. In short, I don't think we'll be seeing that many Jackhammer skins being accepted this year. That very likely will probably be just the one, unless we get like Twitch drops and whatnot, like last year. Or maybe we'll get one for Halloween and Christmas, maybe, like last year. I think I've made my point. This is kind of like the Revolver. Something a lot of people like to use, but we just don't get that many skins accepted. Now, Twitch drops still are very likely. I've got to get this point across. But as of now, I haven't seen any rumblings about a Twitch drop for a Jackhammer or anything. That very likely could actually turn out to be a very nice investment. Now, it's currently the top selling skin. It's also abnormal, so we can race to put Barders down and whatnot Wednesday night going into Thursday morning. But I'm a little bit cautious. Black Ops Collection has been a bit funny. It's a weapon-only collection. Well, weapon and tool collection now. These skins, they look very nice initially. They drop down pretty hard. But take a look at what happened to the AK. This is really strange. I saw this earlier. So right now, it's currently over $2, which you'll see right now. There you go. And look at sales history. That was going down, 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 down. Of course, spring season, the spring dip. But basically, whoop, what? Yeah, it just goes whoop, and then it's trending upwards. I don't know, but it's in a better position now. But that was down to like $1, almost $1 at one point. Now it's basically starting to recover and it's starting to improve. Okay, overall, these skins here and that did struggle. That did go down in price. Not dramatically down in price, but they did dip. But as we get closer to like July and August, they very likely might end up going up into the positive. With the arrival of the Jackhammer today, maybe things will change. And of course, the Revolver's just A-okay. But that Jackhammer, if we do not see any more, I'm totally behind it. I think that's going to be all right. I might stick with a fairly strong buy order. We'll see. But by all means, if you're looking for a brand new Jackhammer, that's perfect. It's an awesome looking design. Consider watching my Rust rotation video to get a much better look at it. But yeah, I mean, I am not expecting any competition. I think that's going to be A-okay, and it's a very nice consideration for investment. Right then, so looking at all these other skins, what's potentially looking to be a nice, investment. So I think I will talk about the pump shotgun. The reason being, again, sheer lack of skins. So I did mention it at the very beginning. I was tempted to say hoodie and pants next, but I know a lot of people aren't very behind it. But this right here, I know you're going to make all the jokes and whatnot, but please be aware, the previous skins, they're not doing that good. The AK is basically down to less than $1. The SAR is just over $1. They haven't held. However, with this being the pump shotgun, I'm going to whip out my... I'm going to whip out my cock, and I'm going to pump it, and I'm going to blast you in the face. So, lots of funny puns you can make with this. Door camping's going to be a whole different type of experience now. Wonderful. You're going to surprise a lot of people when you whip that out. Cool. So, pump shotgun. Due to the fact that we just don't see that many, you might notice that some of the more recent ones have actually performed very nicely. Look at the one from 2023, up 62%, No Mercy, up 11%, Imperial Pump Shotgun last year, up 66%, Black Gold, up 71%, and Rainbow Pony, up 28%. Now, how much did they sell? 12,000, 5,500, 9,400, 7,800, and 9,600 subscribers. This is not one of the top selling skins at the moment. It might sell very reasonably. And with all those lovely potential jokes you can make, talking about the rooster on there, the cockerel, the cock, I'm sure there's some pretty good potential with that. But it's not abnormal. We will not be able to do barters early on that one. So Wednesday night, when I'm streaming, look in the description, you'll see links to all my socials. We'll have to figure out, based on the amount of sales that's had up to that point, is it looking okay to consider, jumping into it, like purchasing a bunch of them. I might do a sneaky few purchases. I think that actually will work out quite nicely. Again, feel free to comment below all your wonderful jokes that you can make with your lovely cock pump shotgun. Next skin I want to talk about, it will be the Deep Ruby hoodie and pants. Purely based on the fact that we are now anticipating boots and gloves and tier 3. And I know for a fact tier 3 is on the workshop, but will it be accepted? We shall see. So yeah, if you just go over to here, Deep Ruby Collection, scroll down, you'll see tier 3 has been in the workshop for a while now. But how many tier 3 pieces have we been waiting for? So many people have been looking forward to tire tier 3 as well. And don't worry, I'll get to that point in a second. But it's there. It potentially could be accepted soon. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to anticipate. So yes, if that were to be accepted, I could definitely see some nice things going on with these. But of course, with these being accepted, we have to see if they line up quite nicely with the sales that the tier 2 did. Now the prices here, they're not actually up to date. If I had to go take a look at the Deep Ruby kilt in the Steam market at the moment, as we can see, it's slightly better. A few more listings have appeared, but it was matching up to its Rust price again. And if we see the tier 3 as well, I'm just saying there's a lot more room for that to grow. So things are looking better. But yeah, will people truly embrace being an eggplant? We'll see. Alright. We all want to be lovely purple specimens. So, okay, cool. We'll put that to the side. If it sells reasonably, all the better for it. So looking at the remaining skins, I think I'll talk about the jacket next. Now, just to quickly remind all of you, last year we got quite a lot of black jackets. So, training jacket, black gold jacket, we had Twitch drops, Dragon Rage jacket. But eventually, they did actually work out quite nicely. Now, initially, they did go down pretty bad. But as time went on, they did recover and they did do nicely. So with this over here, I can't help but assume the same thing's going to happen, but I do not expect this to sell as much as the likes of these. We'll see how it goes, we'll see how it progresses. But it does have a collection behind it, and I do believe people would appreciate this, paired up with their hoodie and pants, their kilt and whatnot. But where is the tier 3? I don't know. There's been, for the past 2 months, we've had a version 1 and a version 2 perfectly available to be selected. Last week, we got the Island Assault tier 3. The week before that, Bone Forged. Don't know. I do not know. I'm just as confused as you are. Maybe they're saving it for what? I don't know. I have no idea. So, if we see the tier 3, that very likely might bounce up a fair bit. I could see it still dropping off in price a little bit at some point. But I don't expect it to sell too ridiculously, and I don't expect it to drop off that ridiculously. It very likely will be a barter situation. It's abnormal. We can approach that Wednesday night going into Thursday morning next week. It's looking okay. We'll see how it progresses. Alright, so we'll see the sales by then. Looking at the remaining skins, I feel like I should probably talk about the Nuke Room fridge. It's a perfectly fine looking design. It was a big surprise. But the Nuke Room collection, take one look at this, and what do you see? Okay, bit of a problem, but surely that'll be alright. Well, then look at the amount of fridges we've seen accepted so far this year. Oh, okay. Very well then. What's going on here? Yeah, a lot of skins are being accepted ever since we had the cooking update. So this is the most we've seen being accepted in a single year, and I just can't help but assume we're going to see a few more, and then next year we'll see quite a lot, and the year after that we'll see quite a lot, and suddenly fridges are no longer like a rare sight to see. Let me just get this point across. This existing implies we're going to see a Halloween one and a Christmas one. If you know Epic's routine, with the past few years, there will probably be a set of these special holiday batch. In total, by the end of the year, I'm expecting about 10 fridges to be accepted. Is that special enough to retain interest, to retain its price? I'm questioning it. All right. So by all means, look at my Rustle rotation video to get a good look at it. See if it, looks nice. See if it appeals to you. But Glows in the Dark looks pretty cool. Yes, the collection itself isn't doing super amazing, but if you like it, that's what matters most. All right. But as an investment, it's abnormal. Let's do those bilders first, then we'll consider it afterwards. All right. But it most likely might just be a bilder situation. Cool. Let's keep an eye on the sales and keep track of that. Cool. Right, looking at the remaining skins. So I'll talk about the SAR. Funnily enough, and you'll need to watch my Rust rotation video to see it yourself, this has the exact same aim sight as the Imp SAR. But that's no longer that special, is it? Why is that, Hedge? Because we have the Heatseeker SAR. And we also have a Bellum free Twitch drop that will be available next week between June 25 to July 2nd. And it has the exact same transparency as the Heatseeker SAR. And that'll be for free. What awkward timing. So, just to reiterate, as you can see, all the Bellum Twitch drops are on the workshop, and I'm referencing the Silver SAR. Now, unfortunately, you cannot see that right now, but this Saturday, I will have a showcase of all the brand new Bellum free Twitch drops. I've got them all in front of me, I've got them all in game, I've got it all nice and prepared, and a very nice showcase of all the skins will be showcased to you. So, keep an eye out for that, although I've already made a short video, alright? So, you probably have seen it already. Consider keeping an eye out for my short videos. But yeah, Bellum Twitch drops. There's the countdown, twitch.facepunch.com, 4 generic drops, 10 specific streamer drops. The links to this will be in the description, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. Cool. But not cool for that SAR, because unfortunately, with the existence of the Heatseeker SAR and the Silver SAR that'll be given away for free, I don't think that'll be retaining its price. Now, I did make quite a fuss about the Imp SAR when the Heatseeker SAR first appeared. Oh, SCMM. Okay, SCMM's currently having some issues. Let's just refresh. Let's skip ahead. So yeah, Imp SAR, this had everything going for it. It had the most transparency for its aim sight compared to all the other SARs. Then Heatseeker SAR appeared. Yep, that turned into a problem. This used to cost $50 and now it's slowly going down. As you can see, it had a very nice high point and then that appeared. Yeah, so basically, in short, our Hellborn SAR here, it's nice, it's only $2, and there's a collection brewing, as you can see here. But I don't really expect that much of it. The transparency it has is very cool, and if it came out like, 3 months ago, oh, that would have been awesome. But it's not that special anymore. Sorry to say. It doesn't glow or anything. Again, you can watch my Rust rotation video to see it for yourself, all that. But, yeah. Now, if I were also to point out, please consider watching my shorts. I put these out a whole lot, like, oh look, there's a Heatseeker LR300 right there. Ooh, interesting. But that's the point. I'm putting out things like this to keep people informed of all the new things coming out fairly soon, potentially. It's not too hard to consider a collection continuation might be accepted in the future. And what do we have right there? Oh, it's the Bellum Twitch drop SAR. And as you might notice immediately from that thumbnail, it has the same amount of transparency as the Heatseeker SAR. So if that's coming out next week, do you really want to invest into a $2 skin? Also, if you happen to own Heatseeker SARs, yeah, you might want to consider selling them before that appears and everybody realises, because not everybody realises at the moment. Oh, they will eventually, though. So, okay, point made. It's interesting, but it might end up just being a 60 cent to 80 cent barter. We'll see how it is. It's abnormal. No, it's not. That's not abnormal. Oh, no. Okay, that might be a problem then. Oh, dear. So, yeah, we'll talk more about that Wednesday night. Looking at the remaining skins, Termite MP5's cool. It also has transparency, just not as much in comparison to the Heatseeker, because this currently costs $2 right now. And if I go over to here, look at the front page, oh look, Heatseeker MP5 is also selling for $2. I wonder why. Why? So that's a bit awkward. And then we go over to here, Bellum Twitch drops. Lo and behold, we have an Augusta Bell MP5 right there. And as you might notice, it also has transparency, and it's for free. That's coming out next week. So it's a very similar situation in regards to the SAR. So it looks interesting. The design is very unique, especially when you look at it. If you look at its side, you'll see how the pincers makes use of the trigger there for one of them, the little metal bit there. I thought that was cool. I thought that was very creative. Props to skin creator. Keep an eye out for their next potential skin. We shall see. But yeah, it very likely might struggle. So point made. And then lastly, Cyberpack. By default, I'm not super enthusiastic for large backpack skins, but I will sit here and say some of them are working out quite nicely. Props to them. But this Cyber collection, it's not insane. And also, you might question, hang on a minute, don't we already have a metallic backpack? Yeah, it was technically the first ever marketable backpack we got. That being Hardsuit, because it came at the same time as the No Mercy backpack. So many of them sold, so many of them are in the Steam market, and it is down cheap. Like, yeah, that's struggling. So if you're thinking, maybe, no, I don't think so. I think that would be better off as a wilder, and I do not expect it to retain its price. Sorry to say, but being realistic with you. Okay then, so is there anything else we should address? So number one, I'd recommend you go look on the Steam market, keep an eye on prices, look at your inventories. Consider making some sales. Prices are improving very nicely at the moment, and if I could just quickly show you here, I've kind of put a bit of an effort in to sell some skins on my main account. I'm up to about $1,500 at the moment. I have a lot of skins, so that's a bit of a problem, but just don't sell them in big fat quantities. Do not unload all of your stock in one go. Sell them in small batches, ride the wave of momentum, and you'll slowly get the best profits, potentially. So, as you can see here, 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 5, point made, yeah. And yeah, the sales have been going through. I've been trying to sell some more fairly expensive things as well, but nothing like green camouflage or anything. But it has been selling. It has been doing quite right. My money's going back up, and if I could get all of my accounts up to maximum, I'll be nice and ready to potentially jump in and purchase a bunch of skins around October time. Because if all skins are going to go down in price around that period of time, probably the best time to consider buying them, wouldn't it? Yeah. Cool. So, alright, that's totally understandable. But yeah, I'd recommend it. And yeah, player count. It's not really matching up to the previous month. That did have, you know, the jungle introduction, the update. This month we didn't really have anything. Next month, though, what is there to be expected? Well, not much, to be honest with you. We're just going to go through the same sort of details we probably spoke about last week. So there's apparently a decorative lighting pack. This might be a general thing, not a Christmas thing. So this might be available throughout, like, forever after it's out. Some sort of fairy lights, like so, some sort of extra decorative pieces and whatnot. So, okay, if we just had like the floor, wallpapers and whatnot, looks like we're going to have extra lighting features to be able to decorate our bases with and whatnot. That'd be $15, please. Thank you. All right, cool. We also have the brand new pilot hazmat apparently being worked on. Only the pistol, though. They might be working on this for a while, leave it for a fair bit, then come back to it later this year, because I'm sure many of you are fully well aware they have the Warhammer collaboration to do. I'm not sure when that's happening, but that's apparently a hazmat DLC pack as well. So we'll see what becomes of that. Cool. And then, of course, what appears to be the actual big main update for, well, next month, July. Party system. So yeah, people group up as a party, leader gets in, and then everybody can like spawns near the leader. Everybody gets in because the leader got in. Yeah, not everybody is super thrilled about this. Look at all the downvotes here. We'll see what happens when they release it. Maybe it's just for specific servers. We shall see. But yeah, and also the abilities to spawn at Outpost if you've already been there. But again, people don't seem to be super happy about that. So yeah, we'll see what happens then. But yeah, at least something's coming out for July. And, you know, coinciding with all the kids, or most of the kids in the world, having time off school, and of course more time to play Rust. Now, just quick warning, you might see maybe a few more people, because we do have the summer sale just around the corner. That also could be a potential problem. So right now, CS2 Major is currently going on. They have a whole bunch of stickers and whatnot currently being added to the game, and once this tournament's over, a week or two after, they will have a sale. So a lot of those sticker capsules get super cheap. People probably want to cash out, get some money, and go buy those capsules. So don't be surprised if you see certain prices go down a fair bit. And summer sale. So people probably cash out to buy cheap games. Also, Rust will be on sale as well. So you'll probably see a lot more fresh meat. So we'll see what becomes of that. But yeah, point made. Cool. Right then. So that is essentially everything I needed to say. But there's just probably one more thing to address. So, you know, there's that whole situation with TGG, that German guy, how he said he can't make videos anymore. We now know why, or rather, what his new job is. Essentially, he now actually works for FacePunch. Before, whilst he did a job for them, he didn't actually work for them. He wasn't like under their umbrella. But things have changed. He is now their skins coordinator at FacePunch. He has actually been hired by them. He still does his job, but he doesn't have it public anymore. So he would review every single skin that was submitted every week, make sure they have the quality standard, make sure there's no copyright issues, and then that list would get put towards FacePunch. That's not public anymore. He cannot do that anymore, apparently. So, okay, fair enough. But yeah, go look at their Twitter. It says it right there. There you go. So, okay, congratulations to him. Let's see what other changes are potentially going to happen from here and now. And that is essentially it. So thank you very much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck with you. And of course, keep an eye out for the Twitch drops. They are out next week for a whole week. Twitch.facepunch.com. I have it linked in the description. And yeah, start figuring out what you would like to chase after first. Streamer skins, you've got to spend 2 hours of your time to watch them. You could just go on a different browser, load the stream, log in to your Twitch. Make sure the volume is on Twitch. Mute the tab. That would still do progress. And for the generic drops, anyone else streaming Rust on Twitch, you get the idea. So, cool. That's it. That's everything. Have fun. Have a lovely weekend. Catch you later. See you. Goodbye.